Jey Uso betrays Jimmy Uso. WWE has already made with Wrestle Palooza. Cody Rhodes and Pat McAfee's return confirmed for Wrestle Palooza. Dominik Mysterio has gone through an undesirable changes. The Undertaker is genuinely disappointed with WWE talent. The WWE accused of burying Bayley. Nobody cares about Ronda Rousey. The Rock is taking years off his life by losing weight. AJ Lee's promo was horrible. Let's dive right in. WWE has already made with Wrestle Palooza. WWE unveils its first ever Wrestle Palooza PLE on Saturday, September 20th, live from Indianapolis. The main event pits John Cena against Brock Lesnar, who called out the 17-time champ after a brutal attack on SmackDown last week. Stephanie Vaker gets her long-awaited title shot, earned at Evolution 2 in July. AJ Lee made a stunning return to WWE after 10 years, teaming with her husband CM Punk to face Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. With just under 2 weeks to go, WWE's hype for Wrestlepalooza has hit some snags. Here are 5 big mistakes they've made. Number 1. Big names missing from the lineup. Unless Dominik Mysterio defends his Intercontinental Championship, some major stars might sit this one out. LA Knight could show up, but don't expect him in a match. Penta's recent loss to Rusev on Raw makes his involvement unlikely. Bayley and Lyra Valkyria are still searching for direction post-SummerSlam. Rhea Ripley's likely being saved for Crown Jewel, Perth, but will she appear here? Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre's roles are unclear, and Cody Rhodes has been absent since SummerSlam. Will he return for Revenge in time? Number 2. ESPN switch feels rushed. WWE dropped a bombshell. Wrestlepalooza, clashing with AEW's All Out, will be the first PLE to stream on ESPN, its new home. International fans can catch it on Netflix, but US viewers face another platform switch. Many are used to Peacock, WWE's home for years. Jumping to ESPN 4 months earlier than the planned January 2026 move feels chaotic. Fans already juggling multiple subscriptions might hesitate to pay more. Was Clash in Paris their last live PLE? This sudden shift could leave some feeling stuck. Number 3. Same old Breakker-Reed tag match. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed have teamed up or faced the same foes on Raw and PLEs 4 times now. It's fine to keep them active, but it's getting stale. Why not push them toward the tag team titles? After their predictable loss to Jey Uso and Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, they're now facing the Usos at Wrestlepalooza. The bookers need to spice things up with a unique stipulation or fresh angle instead of repeating the same old playbook. Number 4. Vaker's absence from TV. Stephanie Vaker is a fan favorite, but WWE hasn't showcased her enough since she earned her title shot at Evolution 2. Naomi's pregnancy threw plans off, but that's no excuse for barely featuring the former NXT double champ on Raw. Even after Adam Pearce confirmed her match against Sky at Wrestlepalooza, Vaker's only popped up in a few backstage bits. She hasn't been on Raw in nearly a month and missed the Wrestlepalooza contract signing on the latest Raw. She did appear on NXT the next night for their homecoming special, though. Number 5. Barely any title matches. With just over a week until Wrestlepalooza, only Sky versus Vaker is a title match. The other 3 bouts feature Brock Lesnar's return after 2 years and 2 tag team clashes. AJ Lee's comeback is exciting, but for the first ever Wrestlepalooza, WWE should add more stakes. The Jey Uso/Vision storyline, dragging since WrestleMania, feels tired. No major men's titles on the card is strange, though Cody Rhodes could still return for a defense. The Judgment Day or a Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill match could add another title fight. Every PLE needs at least 2 championship bouts to feel big. Cody Rhodes and Pat McAfee's return confirmed for Wrestlepalooza. WWE is going all out for Wrestlepalooza, packing the card with massive matches. Triple H has confirmed that Cody Rhodes will return for the event, and Pat McAfee is coming back in his home state of Indiana. Another familiar face is also set to make a splash on September 20th. Raw interviewer Jackie Redmond skipped this week's show, sparking questions from fans on X about where she was. She explained in a quote tweet that she's taking a 2-week break before the National Hockey League season kicks off, as she also covers hockey for other outlets. My incredible, amazing bosses at WWE have allowed me 2 weeks vacation before hockey starts and I have no life again. LOL. I return at Wrestlepalooza. I've dusted off my Chuck Taylors and I have so much to say, Jackie Redmond wrote. Jackie Redmond confirmed she'll be back at Wrestlepalooza, likely hosting the pre-show. She's thrilled to return and talk about AJ Lee's comeback to WWE after a decade away. More surprises might be in store for Wrestlepalooza, with the event shaping up to be huge. Cody Rhodes is back and expected to defend his WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre, who sidelined him last month. The show is stacked with big returns, including Brock Lesnar taking on John Cena after attacking the 17-time champ at SummerSlam. AJ Lee will team with her husband CM Punk to battle Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins in a mixed tag team match. Stephanie Vaker faces Sky for the vacant Women's World Championship. The Usos, newly reunited, will take on the Vision's Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Dominik Mysterio has gone through an undesirable changes. Dominik Mysterio, once one of WWE's most despised villains, is losing his edge, even as the current Intercontinental Champion. Veteran journalist Bill Apter has noticed a shift for the worse. Dominik was at his best when clashing with his dad, Rey Mysterio, but lately he's faded from the spotlight despite still appearing on TV. Apter says Dominik's doing better in AAA than in WWE. On Unscripted this week, Apter pointed out that Dominik's villainous spark has dimmed, which isn't good news. I am gonna give him, what's going on with him now. I think he has lost some of his heat. So I am gonna agree with you, and right now I am gonna say not hot. I think we may see a split with he and the Judgment Day. They seem to be stirring that up a little bit. I think that in terms of AAA, he has probably got more heat than he does at WWE at this point. Dominik hasn't changed his character, but something odd happened recently. He got cheers as a good guy for a moment. After winning the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 41, he was stunned to hear fans rooting for him. On the Rap on Wrestling podcast, he shared his surprise. Man, it's super surreal, man. It's such a blessing, cause, it wasn't too long ago, I was getting booed out of the stadiums and arenas for 2-3 years now, like not even being able to get a word out. Like interviews and podcasts and stuff like this is the most I was ever able to talk, he said. What's next for Dominik in WWE is anyone's guess, as his path forward remains unclear. The Undertaker is genuinely disappointed with WWE talent. Booker T backs The Undertaker's frustration with some WWE wrestlers. Weeks ago, the Phenom called it disheartening to see talent filming TikToks backstage instead of watching ongoing matches. Former WWE star Elena Black, once known as Cora Jade, agreed, and now Booker T has chimed in. During an Esports Insider interview, the WWE Hall of Famer was asked if he shared the dead man's disappointment about wrestlers focusing on TikTok over the monitor. I agree with Taker. I truly believe in keeping the character as real as you possibly can, because that's your moneymaker, he said. Booker T said it's hard to picture someone like The Undertaker doing something like that after a major event. I always say, can you imagine if The Undertaker was the Phenom on pay-per-view on Saturday night, and then on Tuesday night he was on TikTok as a chef? You wouldn't be able to buy The Undertaker the same way if he were to make you feel that way. So I think believing in the character and keeping the character sacred, it's something that these young guys really don't think about or care about these days. He added, The Undertaker has criticized today's wrestlers before, saying in 2021 that they've gone soft, more focused on video games backstage than their craft. Since retiring, he's made occasional WWE appearances. Lately, he's taken a bigger role, especially with WWE's recent acquisition of Mexico's Lucha Libre AAA. He was backstage at Triple Mania on August 16th, helping with production and booking, per reports. AAA's chief content officer called the Phenom one of the big driving forces behind AAA. It'll be worth watching to see if The Undertaker takes on a creative role in WWE down the line. The WWE accused of burying Bayley. A wrestling veteran has accused WWE of sidelining Bayley. Lately, the former WWE Women's Champion seems caught in a tug-of-war over her on-screen character's direction. While she grapples with her identity, inside sources have called out a recent moment where her name was used poorly on TV. On last week's SmackDown, Becky Lynch and CM Punk traded words in a heated promo. When Punk said he could call Bayley for backup, Lynch shot back that she'd already kicked her A. Inside sources speaking on the Coach and Bro show on Behind the Turnbuckle Studios argued there was no need to drag the role model's name through the mud just to make Lynch look strong. Before AJ Lee comes out, and everybody knows she's coming out. Unless you're brain dead, everybody knows she's coming out. What's the first thing Becky Lynch does? She buries every other woman wrestler. I'm not afraid of Bayley, and I'm not afraid of... Why would you do that? What is the point of burying Bayley? You don't do that, Coach. There's no reason to do that, he said. Inside sources also criticized how Becky Lynch acted scared when AJ Lee appeared. They said it made no sense for the man to fear Lee, who hasn't wrestled in 10 years and doesn't come off as intimidating, calling it weak booking by AAA's creative team. On this week's Raw, Bayley was seen wrestling with her split personalities again. She spoke about not wanting to harm Lyra Valkyria, flipping between her hugger and role model sides, battling her inner voices. The former champ ended the segment vowing to fix things. It'll be worth watching to see how WWE handles the role model's story in the weeks ahead. Nobody cares about Ronda Rousey. A WWE legend has unleashed on Ronda Rousey after her recent remarks. In an interview, the former UFC star called WWE's choice to pit her against Alexa Bliss, who was topping merchandise sales, ridiculous. Rousey wasn't happy with how WWE made decisions, and her comments have sparked a firestorm. Several wrestling icons, including Booker T, have hit back hard. On the Reality of Wrestling podcast, Booker T didn't hold back when talking about the former UFC champ. Ronda Rousey is another one, man. I think the wrestling world opened the doors to her and she just spit in the face of professional wrestling. That's what she's done. You know, it's a reason why people don't like her, you know? I mean, I don't hear any of her old comrades in the UFC saying anything good about Ronda Rousey, man. Nobody cares about Ronda Rousey but herself. She's got a very, very high, self-esteem as far as you know, looking at herself a certain way, but I don't think anybody else looks at Ronda that way just because, there again, I don't know why she has so much hate and vitriol for the wrestling business, he said. Booker T said WWE handed Rousey a golden opportunity, giving her the spotlight many wrestlers dream of. He called her disrespect toward WWE an insult. Since her 2018 debut, WWE pushed Rousey hard, making her one of the first women to headline WrestleMania with Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. She also won the 2022 Women's Royal Rumble. Booker T believes WWE helped Rousey earn more money than she ever did in UFC. I really feel like this business opened the door for Ronda Rousey to come in and have a great time and do a thing and make a lot of money, and I can almost guarantee you this, Ronda probably made more money with the WWE than she did in the UFC. I can almost guarantee you that, and to spit in the face of that, it's an insult, it really is, he added. Rousey's comments have stirred up trouble, and it's unclear if she'll respond to the heat she's getting. She called it ridiculous that WWE booked her against Bliss just for her high merchandise sales. On the Something to Wrestle With podcast, JBL said, Rousey's remarks show she doesn't get the wrestling business. I think it's just naive, is what it is, and like MJF said, it's just not an understanding of the business. She obviously doesn't understand business. Who do you want to fight? You want to find a guy who can't sell a t-shirt? Are you going to find the #1 merch guy? And I don't give a damn who he is. I don't care if he's some guy on the street corner. If he can sell more merch than anybody else, put me in the ring with him, we'll make money, he said. JBL understood that. Coming from MMA, Rousey would want to face the top fighter, but he stressed wrestling has a business side too. He agreed with Rosenberg's take that Rousey's comments were disrespectful. Yes, I think Pete's right. I think it is disrespectful. You've got this Hall of Fame career, and I get it. And it's your prerogative to say whatever you want. But I think, why you want to bash somebody like Alexa, who's still making a living? You just gonna bash this person that's making a living and try to discredit her because it gets you a few clicks. I don't appreciate it, he added. The Rock is taking years off his life by losing weight. A WWE legend is sounding the alarm about The Rock's health. The Brahma Bull turned heads at the Venice Film Festival with a noticeably leaner look, reportedly shedding 60 pounds. While many fans love his new appearance, some are worried. On his click. This podcast, WWE Hall of Famer Kevin Nash shared his concerns about the final boss's dramatic change, suggesting it might be tied to health issues. I'm worried about him, The Rock. If you Google it, it says that he sat down with his cardiologist and he's suffering from heart disease. My whole thing is this. They're stating that he lost the weight to play Kerr in The Smashing Machine. I watched the trailer. He didn't lose the weight. He's big, he said. Nash questioned the 60-pound weight loss claim and shared why he thinks The Rock might be making a change. You get to a F age and you're just like, F this. And especially if your cardiologist tells you, dude, you're taking years off your life. If you have 800 million F dollars, the last thing you want to do is F with your health. I think that Dwayne's issue is his F genetics. I think his ancestry, they had heart issues, he added. At the Toronto Film Festival, the former WWE champion spoke with Variety about his transformation. He explained that he slimmed down for a role in a new film directed by Benny Safdie, who also helmed The Smashing Machine. The People's Champion will play a whimsical, eccentric 70-something-year-old called Chicken Man in an adaptation of the book Lizard Music. Fans are hoping this role explains his new look and that there's no serious health problem. AJ Lee's promo was horrible. AJ Lee made a stunning return to Raw this week, her first appearance in 10 years. The crowd erupted, chanting, "Welcome back," as she stepped into the ring. She opened up about her decade-long journey, focusing on mental health and physical recovery, even praising therapy for turning her struggles into strength. But not everyone was impressed. On Sportskeeda's Legion of Raw, inside sources slammed her promo as a total miss. They questioned how her talk about mental health tied into wrestling or anything happening in the ring, arguing that WWE's current shows lack any sense of reality. They felt the segment was crafted just to excite the live crowd, leaving TV viewers out in the cold. I thought this was horrible. She was talking about freaking mental health. I went for therapy, and now the marks are chanting therapy. I'm like, what are we freaking watching here, bro? This is awful, bro. There is not one shred of reality in anything they do. What we're seeing is for that crowd. If you're not a part of this crowd and you're trying to watch this, good luck. AJ Lee upped the stakes by holding the Women's Intercontinental Championship hostage until Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch agreed to face her and CM Punk in a mixed tag team match at WrestlePalooza. WWE later confirmed the blockbuster bout for the event. It'll be a must-watch to see which power couple comes out on top in this epic clash. Jey Uso betrays Jimmy Uso. The Usos came back together on Raw to face The Vision, but LA Knight paid a heavy price when Jey Uso hit him with a spear last night. After the show, Bronson Reed sent a chilling warning to the tag team. The Usos reunited on last week's Raw when The Vision jumped Jey, and Jimmy rushed in with a steel chair to save him. On the latest Raw, Jimmy and Jey told Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker that Adam Pearce booked them for a tag team showdown at Wrestlepalooza in Indianapolis. In the main event, LA Knight faced Reed one-on-one. A distraction from Breaker let Reed pin Knight. Afterward, the Usos and the megastar chased off the Vision, but Jey stunned everyone by spearing the two-time United States champion to end the night. Today, Reed fired off a warning to the Usos on X. Greatest tag team of all time, until they get in the ring with us. Yeetman and BJ, this ain't no penitentiary. Indianapolis is gonna be the doghouse. At Braunbreaker Reed wrote. Jimmy and Jey Uso have been a powerhouse in WWE for over a decade. They're legends in the tag team world, rivaling teams like the Dudley Boys and the Hardy Boys, with their SmackDown Tag Team Championship reign lasting over 600 days from 2021 to 2023. Even without titles, they dominated, taking on Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa at Money in the Bank 2023. But their bond broke when Jimmy betrayed Jey and rejoined the OG bloodline. It's been over 2 years since the Usos wrestled together in a classic tag team match in WWE, though they backed Roman Reigns at last year's Crown Jewel and Survivor Series. War Games, Jey and Jimmy will reunite as a team for the first time in over 2 years against the Vision's Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed on September 20th.